I'm Chris Owen, a.k.a. the Shermanator, from American Pie, and you are listening to the Cinescape on Toxic Radio.
Welcome to the Cinescape Podcast, where we're changing the landscape of movie and TV news and reviews. Happy Easter weekend, everybody, coming to you live a little earlier in the day as it is still the AM. I am, of course, your host, Sean Harrigan, joined, as always, by Bill Easter Bunny Tazi. What's going on, Billy? Hopping down the bunny trail.
Hey, I just hopped on over here into the studio, and happy Easter to everyone, and happy Passover as well.
Yes, yes.
Do you know anyone who's Jewish?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Did they survive the night?
Well, I mean, I haven't heard from any of them yet, so I can't be sure.
You know, remember the movie 10 Commandments?
Right, which will probably be on tomorrow night per the usual.
Yeah, and they would slather the doorways with the lamb's
Do you think they
blood.
really did that, or they just add that for the movie?
No, I think they really did that. But, the effects that were in that movie, because in that scene, it was basically like Voldemort, like, coming through ancient Egypt, right? Because, like, they had this black, like, phantasm apparition thing just sweeping through and just killing firstborn males. It was like the first Voldemort. So, yeah, I mean, Harry Potter could be based on biblical teachings.
Wow. That's interesting.
Wow.
We are joined also by the man behind the booth, Jamie Baumgartner. What's going on, Jamie?
Not much.
Happy to be here instead of work, right?
I am. We actually been working the last several Saturdays. I'm glad to have one off and to be able to spend it here with you fellas early in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. What better faces to look at than ours, right? Bright and early in the morning.
I could be home with my wife, but I think it would be better than looking at you two right now.
Come on. Well, we are excited to be here with you guys today early, so we hope you're enjoying your breakfast, having a cup of coffee, and enjoying the show. Later on in the episode, we are going to be reviewing Ready Player One, which Bill and I both saw earlier this week, so stay tuned for that. But Bill, we're going to jump into something that we haven't done in actually quite a while.
Anal?
Maybe later. We usually do this when we do that at the end of the show, but I want to start the show off with it today because I'm just really excited. So we're going to start off, Bill, with our strange stories. Jamie, if we get a little
Kick it off, Sean. I know you've been waiting for this.
A Birmingham, UK moviegoer died last week at the View Cinema Theater after having his head trapped under his seat. The man reportedly dropped his cell phone and his head was trapped under the electronic footrest, suffering a heart attack from the panic. Oh, that's frightening, Bill.
That is frightening.
Absolutely frightening. Good thing that didn't happen to us the other night.
I know.
Bill, read our next one.
No. It would appear that Australia has finally discovered The Simpsons after all these years, as the Australian branch of Krispy Kreme revealed through the official Instagram account on Tuesday, the new Simpsons donut.
I get it.
Donut! An obvious play on Homer's iconic "Dough" catchphrase, describing the new donut as the 8th wonder of the world. It looks exactly like the distinctive pink frosted sprinkle donuts that have long appeared throughout the show's run. The Krispy Kreme website says the product is its signature glazed donut, but hand-dipped in strawberry-flavored white chocolate, truffles, and topped off with rainbow sprinkles.
Donuts. Oh, that just made me a little hungry, Bill. Thanks for reading that one. A little lengthy for you. I'm glad you got through it.
Oh, thanks.
According to Variety, the Spice Girls are reuniting for a superhero-themed animated movie. All 5 members of the group have signed off on their likenesses being used for the superhero-themed movie, working off of the quote-unquote girl power message. Each character will be voiced by a Spice Girl and feature a quote-unquote girl power unique to the group, or to that group member that reflects each girl's personality.
Oh. Well, Cameron Diaz has seemingly confirmed her retirement from acting during an interview with Entertainment Weekly in which she was reunited with co-stars Selma Blair and Christina Applegate from The Sweetest Thing. Diaz has not appeared in a film since 2014's Sex Tape.
Police are still investigating an incident involving actor Corey Feldman, who claims that he was attacked while sitting in his car at a red light in Los Angeles. Feldman's car was stopped at 10:45 p.m. this past Tuesday night, a police spokesman said, when someone opened the car door and made, quote-unquote, a stabbing motion with an unknown object. LAPD Sergeant Barry Montgomery tells Deadline that Feldman was not stabbed, had no lacerations, and no additional injuries, and drove himself to the hospital. He is said to be in good condition. The LAPD does not have a suspect description, nor has it determined what weapon was used in the alleged attack. Feldman later tweeted from his hospital bed that he was in the car with a security when he was targeted by a quote-unquote wolf pack.
Oh, shit. Remember the Bizarro Jerry from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Feldman?
Yeah.
Well, former Smallville star Allison Mack is believed to be involved in a sex trafficking cult. Alleged cult leader Keith Rainier was arrested this week, and video footage shows Mack chasing after the police car carrying Rainier. Mack is believed to be the next to be arrested. Mack is also accused of branding her initials on the skin of other cult members, which include young women. How unfortunate.
And that is going to do it for our strange stories. Bill, that last one that you read,
That is some strange
I was
shit
reading
right
up
there.
on it the other day. Extremely disconcerting. Yeah, everything that I was reading, with the branding, her and the leader of the cult would brand their initials like above the vaginas of these girls.
Oh my God.
And apparently
I wish,
she joined when she was on Smallville. Her co-star Christina Crook got her involved in it, and it's a really
I wish
wild
the TV
story.
was on so we could pull up a picture, but I gotta look up Allison Mack to see.
Yeah, she was Chloe on Smallville, the blonde-haired girl.
Oh, she was Chloe?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was having trouble. Okay.
Yeah, very strange.
I mean, well, she was kind of like the quirky one on the show, even.
Right.
You know, like you kind of were like, she's kind of cute and like a girl next door sort of way.
Right.
And but I mean, like looking at some of these pictures, she has these like real buggy cult-looking eyes, though.
Yeah, she's
like
all freaked out now.
like she's. Oh wait.
What'd you find?
I found the
video?
branding thing.
Oh, the brand. Yeah, I saw them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's wild.
That's some weird shit. Wow. Wow. My favorite wow's the third one. Wow.
Have you, by the way, seen the video from Australia of like the giant crowd of people chanting "Wow"? In
Yeah, yeah, that was great. It was like some kind of.
We want Owen Wilson to hear this one from America, and everybody's just wow. That's too much. And then going back to our strange stories, the Corey Feldman thing.
Right.
I know he's been tweeting from his hospital bed, was in the story, but I guess I don't know if it was the doctors or the investigators or whoever found like an extremely tiny like little cut on I think his stomach, and that's all they found. Going off of his paranoia about everything with the pedophile story that's been plaguing him since he was a kid. His thought process is that. And this was a while ago too, when everything started coming out, like the Weinstein stuff.
Right.
That he was saying that he was being targeted for coming out and speaking out against his diddlers, and he was saying that he thinks that somebody's probably going to try to have him killed. So whether or not this
does anybody care if he gets killed?
I don't know.
Like, I'm not saying
like if this did happen, it makes sense based on what he was saying before.
Well, most people would probably just have either assumed that Corey Feldman was already dead to begin with, or that he should have died when years ago when he was doing Blow and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
Corey Hart and Corey Haim.
Yeah.
All the Corys.
Yeah, and you didn't think that Feldman would be the one outliving Haim.
No,
because
it's always the the rock bottom ones that last longer. The cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
All right, before we get into our TV Buzz segment, we wanted to remind you that in 2 weeks' time, two, not one, not three, but two, right in the middle.
1, 2, 3, 4,
our next show is going to be a all trivia show. We have 2 great matches in the Cinescape Trivia Challenge. 2 newcomers to the league in Jason Strange and Anthony Anderson. They're going to be squaring off in their debut matches, and we also have.
Wait, is that Anthony Anderson from TV?
No,
fuck,
no, but he is black. That's a match. But we also have a little bit of a spoiler alert. Well, I don't want to spoil it today, but El Nino has been in the building. I don't know if you can on camera see his luchador mask. It's propped up.
That's
here.
Scary because that means he's either lurking around here or he was here.
He's watching. I don't know. He's doing something.
But I mean, if anything, his luchador mask, you see it, right?
Yeah, it's an ominous message.
That means, one, we don't know what this guy looks like.
No.
And the fact that if he's unmasked right now, we could be walking by this guy in plain sight.
It
he
could
be
literally
sitting next
be anyone.
To us, and we don't know it.
No.
Should I get up and show the mask?
Just in case it's not in frame. But Bill,
they can see it a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's getting the mask in the frame.
On our microphone stand, and you can see right there El Nino's mask. I'm gonna smell it.
Are you sure you want to do that?
What's it smell like?
Should smell like El Nino.
Smells like Mexico?
Like spinach dip.
I don't want to smell that.
Yeah, but
Now, Jamie, when we had the last set of trivia matches, Red Band Underground's #1 contender for our title, Steve Ruck, was attacked backstage. We actually got the video evidence that you were speaking of during that match.
Okay.
So we do have it in our possession. El Nino actually claimed responsibility for the attack. We're just waiting on Stephen Ruck's, answer to what El Nino had to say and speak about his attack. So once we get that from Stephen, we're going to post that up so you can all see the heinous, vicious, brutal attack that El Nino laid down on the #1 contender. But those two, in 2 weeks, like I said, they are going to be squaring off. They're going to have their grudge match, and it's going to be a slobber knocker. So we're very excited for that.
I have spoken to Steven, and he's dying to get his hands on El Nino.
I bet he is after seeing that beating he took. I'd be anxious to get my hands on him too. Bill, you ready?
What is he doing?
Bill's just been drawing and writing on the whiteboard up there. Bill's back.
I'm back.
Hey, Bill.
I like to doodle sometimes.
Yeah, doodle, diddle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're going to get into our TV Buzz segment right now. Bill, if you could read our first story, please.
I can't read.
Yes, you can.
Hold on.
I've seen you do it.
Oh, okay. I just got to scroll back up.
Yeah, scroll just a little bit.
Scroll. TV Buzz.
The first one.
The first one, not the penultimate.
No.
So, starting off with the news, we have, despite having his solo series canceled after one season back in 2015, actor Matt Ryan's John Constantine has found new life as he is joining the cast of Legends of Tomorrow. As a series regular during Season 4, Constantine has appeared in a few episodes CW series like Arrow and Legends in the past.
This is pretty cool. I do watch this show. I did watch most of season 1 of Constantine when it came out.
Yeah.
The pilot was really cool, and then once it got to the second episode, everything completely changed.
How so?
like the pilot was just shot as a standalone thing, but then they
Right. changed
the characters, they changed the tone of the show. It was very, very different. I didn't even wind up finishing the whole thing. But
So you like the pilot better than?
yeah, the pilot was cool. I like the actor who's playing him, Matt Ryan, not the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, of course, but a
Naturally.
different Matt Ryan. But he's, he like you said, he has popped up in other Arrowverse shows. He's been on Arrow. He's been on other episodes of Legends of Tomorrow. Just quick cameos or little short appearances. But he is going to be a series regular come next season, which is exciting if you're a fan of his and the character. Bill, did you ever see the Keanu Reeves movie version?
Yeah, and
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And that's actually a Marvel franchise.
And that's DC.
No, is it DC? Oh, yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's it was one of those comic book movies that
like you wouldn't really know it's a comic book
right.
property.
And I mean, like kind of like how the feel of like Blade is a little bit,
right?
that
kind of supernatural angle,
that underworld,
darker
a little
tone.
bit. Yeah, so I mean, I like the movie, and I think it's a perfect kind of character that you can just weave through some of these shows like CW has.
And he's like a really cool character too, because he's a Brit. He's got a smart ass wit to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't take things too seriously, even though he's like delving in the supernatural and exorcising demons and all that good stuff.
Wigging the demon. Now, this next topic you're gonna read.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see her on Lip Sync Battle?
No,
you got to check it out.
I don't watch that show.
Why not?
It's stupid.
Stupid.
Are they going to do like air guitar battle next?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to read our next one.
Maybe you should watch. Maybe you should watch it.
Maybe I'll check it out. I mean, I saw the commercial for it. But Kathy Bates, as we were just alluding to, has been confirmed to return to American Horror Story for Season 8 and will join Sarah Paulson and Evan Peters as the series leads. Bates previously appeared in 4 other seasons of the horror anthology series on FX. Bill, we're both pretty much done with this show at this point.
I was just going to say, like, which series is this, and like which one's
Well,
left?
this one apparently is supposed to be set in the future at some point.
No, I don't mean like that.
2032.
Like his whole master plan for the series is like, they're all supposed to be
like intertwined somehow.
Yeah, but like this, like deadly sins and stuff like that mostly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, how much more do we have to endure? You know what I mean? Like,
well, not much more, because a couple weeks ago we had that story that Ryan Murphy signed that Netflix exclusive deal. So sounds like this is probably going to be the last season. Wouldn't be surprised.
Good.
Yeah, it's time for it to die.
I'm surprised it lasted this long.
And it's a shame too, because the first couple seasons were really good, and then you'd have when it started with like Roanoke was bad. I didn't really
like Lady Gaga's like some outdoors.
She was in there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hotel was pretty good, but just these seasons were just really long and drawn out. We've commented on these since we've been doing the show, so there's no need to really go back on it too much.
But what it was is really, where in the early seasons, like 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of, I guess it started to fizzle out like with the 4th season. But it was the fact that you would always be left in that suspense, or you'd have to maybe wait a few episodes to really like let things play out, and then and in the earlier seasons that would play on your suspense a little bit because you were anticipating, and then once like after Coven, you didn't have that same anticipation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you would go through these episodes and you're like waiting for like, all right, typical Ryan Murphy build up. You throw some distractions. This episode didn't really draw much in, but shit's coming, and then it was like it would just go off in a different direction, and you're like, I don't even know what's going on, and then you would just be like, oh, it's the Halloween episode again, and here comes somebody to kill somebody, and then like those episodes were always burners, because it allowed you to basically fill a
hole.
a big hole. But yeah, so we'll see.
All right, Bill, read our next one, please.
Okay, the classic Street Fighter video game franchise is getting a TV series. That's right, kids! Set to be produced by entertainment company E1, Street Fighter, the series will draw on the game's World Warrior story arc introduced in the 1991 Street Fighter II, the World Warrior sequel to the original game, as the jumping off point centering on 4 protagonists: Ryu, Ken, Guile, and Chun-Li. Together, they fight to take down M. Bison, the evil mastermind who runs Shadaloo, a global criminal organization.
This is really exciting, Bill. Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, I loved reading that little excerpt right
Toxic
there.
Mike, are you excited for a Street Fighter TV series?
Hey.
No, he says. No.
No.
Hopefully it's better than the friggin' movies that we got.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I don't know.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I don't know. Cammy, though. Cammy?
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. A little Kylie Minogue action.
Yeah.
I don't know what E1
Bison.
actually is.
The Bison.
I've never heard of this E1, so I don't know. Is this going to be on regular terrestrial television? Is it going to be like on a streaming thing
It's
online?
Bison.
I don't know. But
Bison.
when we find out, you'll know.
It's Bison.
It's Bison.
Bison.
And we just have one more TV Buzz story for you guys. FX, Donald Glover, and Marvel Television have all parted ways on their plans for a Deadpool animated series. The project was announced last May with a 10-episode order for the FXX channel. Glover was to have created the show with his brother Steven, but due to creative differences, FX, Donald, Steven, and Marvel Television have agreed to part ways on the Deadpool animated series. FX will no longer be involved with the project, FX said. FX and Marvel have an ongoing relationship through our partnership on Legion, which will continue.
FX has the movies.
They had released like test footage of this the other day that I posted on our Facebook page.
Deadpool?
Of the animated Deadpool. I mean, it looked all right. I'm not sure what the actual hang-up was with this, why they all decided to part ways on the project, whether it's, their pending deal with Disney, or whether he was just too busy, or they didn't want to do it, or they had some kind of, falling out between them. It's not really revealed, but
Right.
Bill, would you have wanted to see this Deadpool animated?
Yeah, I mean, I would be, interested in giving it a look. One, if it's on FX, I mean, it's probably gonna, definitely hit those thresholds of, the cursing and, the comedy that you would expect from Deadpool at this point. But that's only going to be, what that's already established from Ryan Reynolds. So, very likely it's probably a lot of just, business dealings. I mean, the fact that you got the movie coming out, in just a little over a month, and saturation of the brand in the market, probably, just another thing that you don't want to have to throw too much shit out there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be any and all the above. We're not sure, but as for now, we're not getting it.
According to my sources, at this particular time.
All right, well, that does it for our TV Buzz segment.
Done.
We are now going to flip our script and change the focus to the world of movies. Bill, if you could read our first story, please.
Yeah, let me
It's the first one. Number one. So, another classic Disney animated film is getting the live-action update treatment, as Lady and the Tramp is next on the block. The Lego Ninjago movie director Charlie Bean has been tapped to direct the film, which will be a live-action CGI hybrid, folks. The film will be available exclusively for the upcoming Disney streaming service. John, are you excited about a Disney classic being redone, put on the chopping block? You got Lego director Charlie Bean stepping in. Strictly Disney streaming. You think this is going to draw in people to get on board? Well, I'm going to let the song play out because I like it.
Who is it?
It's just the opening theme from Lady and the Tramp, the original cartoon. Don't tell me you've never seen Lady and the Tramp.
I haven't seen Lady and the
Are you
Tramp
kidding me?
since
You cannot be serious.
Since I was like, I don't even know.
Wait, so you have seen it?
Yeah, but I
At
don't
some
like.
point.
But I couldn't tell
Okay.
you any like specifics or any details. Like I don't know.
Christ.
I know it's got dogs and shit in it.
Oh, Billy. Come on, don't bullshit me.
Oh my. One of the top 10 Disney movies of all time. I
Did
would
you
put it
see
at.
that Disney bracket that came out?
Yeah, it's stupid bullshit.
What you don't think you're cool? What are you too cool to fill out a bracket?
I mean, I didn't. Nobody told me to.
Well, you could have. You could have. You could fill.
Well, I mean, I
you
saw
could
that
fill it out
one
and-
that came out, and who won? Like Tarzan won or some shit. Isn't that one?
Yeah, but it like everyone was supposed to pick their own bracket. Like it wasn't like a Disney.
Well, there was a Disney versus Pixar one.
right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I don't know. I didn't agree with that.
I don't. Is it? Was it Disney versus Pixar?
Yeah.
Or was it just?
It was just
Or were
Disney
that
versus
just the-
Pixar.
the
But like
ones that they
whoever
had in
did it, like didn't seed things properly, and like the matchups were
I
still,
will
like you had
agree.
Toy Story versus Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Like come on,
Like you
like,
can't
how you
go
gonna
like
do that?
within the franchise,
No.
like unless like you can't go in like that unless one of them has to be like an early elimination then or something like that.
Yeah.
No,
They didn't know what the hell they were doing.
fucking rocks.
But as far as Lady and the Tramp goes, I mean, it could be cool if the Jungle Book looked really great.
Did you see the Jungle Book?
I
though?
did see the Jungle Book
And
actually.
your thoughts?
It was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I had fun watching it. It's also kind of interesting that they're going to be releasing it for their streaming service. So this one's not coming out in theaters. That's another thing that they're going to be enticing customers to jump on board with. We know they're doing the Star Wars live action show. They're going to have everything that they acquire from Fox. They're going to be putting on there, and they're going to do either remakes or original movies for the service as well. So it's just another feather in their cap. So I think it's a good idea, and I definitely want to get that when it comes out. So maybe I'll check this one out too.
Okay. All right.
Over to the horror world here.
Horror.
As Sony is set to release a reimagining of The Grudge with Insidious star Lin Shaye starring. The film will begin filming in May.
Yeah, I heard about this this edition, but I haven't seen the Grudge.
You never saw The Grudge?
No,
Jesus.
who's in that?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I also saw the original Japanese version. I think it's Ju-on it's called, I want to say. Japanese horror, if you've ever seen any Japanese, like strictly Japanese horror films, they're much scarier than American versions. Really screwed up.
Well, it's because we dropped a bomb on them. You can imagine the type of horror that you would probably see. Oh, speaking of Japanese, did you see the Japanese Avengers trailer?
Trailer?
Yeah.
No, I saw the poster. I posted the
Dude.
Japanese poster.
The trailer makes me want to see the movie even more because
Wait, is Godzilla in it?
could have been a little quicker on that. It's like, is Godzilla in it? You got to watch it after we wrap up. We'll watch it because it's like I feel like it's like Soul Calibur 4 like meets the Infinity War team.
Okay.
And it's like you're watching the trailer and then it's like Avengers! And you're like, yeah, like Thor's in there and he's like eyes are lighting up like Avengers! I'm like, yes! Infinity War! Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you're going to have to check
But
that
we'll
out.
have to check that out. But moving along to the upcoming Men in Black spin-off film. I was just talking about this to somebody the other day, telling them that I was like, yeah, we were talking about like soundtrack songs actually, and I was like, you know what's one that like always gets me, like I can always listen to, like Men in Black. Like Men in Black's like, whenever Will Smith like was in a movie back in the day, it was like he had to write
Wild West.
Right, he had to write a song. And Wild Wild West, like, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider, no, you don't want nada, none of this, six gun in this, like.
I think you know the whole song, Bill. Why don't you sing it first? Well, what's going on with this Men in Black movie, Bill?
But, what's going on with it, though, is that the spin-off film will reteam Thor Ragnarok's Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, along with F. Gary Gray, who is set to direct the film. And it's got a release date right now of June 14th, 2019.
Durga.
Yeah, bakalaka. We heard that the Men in Black movie was going to be, this team up with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that would have been neat. I would have dug that.
I think that could have worked.
Even though I didn't really enjoy the second one.
What, 21 Jump Street?
22.
22?
Jump Street, yeah.
That wasn't bad. I liked at the end when they keep going and doing like all the different
Yeah,
movie
that was
titles.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, remember that?
It was awesome.
But this movie, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Can't they just come up with some new shit?
Yeah, everything's a reboot or remake
Reboot.
or reimagine.
Reboot.
Yeah, we're not sure.
I'm just gonna, I had really bad sex the other night. I'm just gonna reboot that and just
Reboot.
Keep doing it until
He gets it right.
Yeah, until I get it right. Like, honey, we need to reboot sex tonight. Last night I just didn't really like, the direction I was going with it. I mean, I kind of just didn't even do foreplay and just, went right in for the gold. But it was that time of the month, so it was the red. Yeah, so, I just want to reboot.
Bad feeling.
He doesn't need a reboot. He needs a hard reset. That's what he needs.
Yeah, hard reset. Thanks,
He needs his
Jamie.
plug pulled. All
All
right.
right. It's only 11:36.
Bill, according to an article from the New
According
York
to
Times,
you.
Chris Evans will reportedly hang up his shield after Avengers 4. A snippet from the article quotes Evans as saying, "You want to get off the train before they push you off." The article also states that Evans, quote-unquote, has no plans to return to the franchise
This man has no penis.
for now. Can you imagine a world where Chris Evans is no longer Captain America?
In a world where a man gives up his shield for the one thing he loves, his life.
See, I'm not quite sure how to take this article. It was a very lengthy piece. It goes on to talk about his directorial ambitions.
Chris Evans'
and
dog.
He's doing Broadway and all this other stuff. But from what he said, the quote, that he has no plans to return the franchise for now. So that's not like there's been a lot of sites running with, oh, Chris Evans says he's done playing Captain America. That's not necessarily the case. He's just, he might take some time off. Maybe Marvel's going to go in a different direction with Captain America. We're going to get into our Infinity War theories a little bit later on in the show. But it's not saying that he's done and he's never going to be a part of it again.
You got Robert Downey Jr., who's, 52 now?
Something like that.
Yeah. He's obviously been the godfather of the Marvel franchise to date. He pretty much kicked everything off. He's been the face of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, basically, and Marvel has gone to great lengths to keep him involved, keep him happy with how they market and how they go about this process. Right? You got Chris Evans, who's pretty much half his age, right? Everybody loves him. If Tony Stark was killed off tomorrow, you would at least just be like, all right, well, please, don't kill off Captain America, right? So, I mean, if anything, like you said, he's taking a break and stuff like that. He could easily be, worked back in to be, that he could, relieve that role from Robert Downey Jr. in the future if need be, because the fact that he's 90 years old, basically, you know what I mean, and living in the current day, like, you can have him, wherever you want, basically, in the franchise. So we'll see.
Jamie, did you have something to add over there? You look like you were ready to say something.
I was just thinking about it. It's just that it would be odd, in my opinion, because you're so used to seeing him there, and then all of a sudden, bang, he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a little off right now, I think.
Yeah, like I was saying, in a little bit we're going to get into our Infinity War theories, so
Yeah.
I want to bring this back up.
All right, sounds good.
But I want to finish up the last couple here, Bill. The upcoming Captain Marvel film will see the return of some familiar faces, as Marvel has announced that Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson, Lee Pace, who played Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as Jimon Hansu, who played Korath the Pursuer in Guardians of the Galaxy, have joined the cast of the film. Agent Coulson's return to the film side of the MCU will mark his first appearance since 2012's The Avengers. This is really, really great news, especially, we haven't seen Coulson in a while. He stars on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's obviously not dead. We know this movie is going to be taking place in the 90s, so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff with 90s culture and flavor. We've been posting a lot of set photos from that on our Facebook and Twitter pages that you can go and check out. But not only are they bringing back Coulson, but a villain that was really given a lot of disservice in Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Could have been a lot better.
Captain Marvel's going to be focusing on the Kree and the Skrulls in this movie. So bringing back Ronan the Accuser and giving him his proper due, especially after the way he was treated in that first.
I mean, I would
movie.
hope so. The fact that they're prominently named, right here in the credits to the movie. So I hope that it's not just a name drop.
Who?
I hope that, like you said, they give them better service as characters.
I don't think he's going out with a dance off again.
Yeah, right. And I mean, we only got to see in Guardians the coming to power of Ronan.
Right.
And you see him getting, bathed by like this his servants and stuff like that, and the war paint being put on, and the whole warrior outfit. So you're kind of like, okay, well,
Yeah, I want to see more of their way of life and their
Right.
backstory. And
Exactly.
everything like
So it'll be cool to see that. And Korath, did you know that's actually a Klingon character too? In
Oh, really?
Star Trek, yeah.
I did not know that.
Korath. Ooh. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
They'll finish up our last flipping the script story, please.
All right. Should I read it as Shatner too?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
FX Donald Glover.
Oh, no,
wait. Hold on.
I moved stuff
You
around.
moved. Okay.
Move down. X-Men.
Ready.
Go.
Upcoming X-Men films, Dark Phoenix and New Mutants have both had their release dates moved back, with Dark Phoenix moving from its November 2018 date to February 14th of next year.
Hey, that's Valentine's Day.
Hey, that's November 5th, 1955. February 14th of next year is when Dark Phoenix will be moved to, and New Mutants has been pushed back another 9 months, delaying its pregnancy from February 2019 to now November 2019. So we got some pushback here.
Do you
on
know
the
that
old
New
schedule.
Mutants, their original date was supposed to be
Mutants.
2 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks from this week?
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Then it was February, now it's
April.
another 9 months.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
and you see how they're trying to target the February, November calendar
Because
months, which
they
are-
had a lot of success with Deadpool in February. That's
right,
why.
exactly. But I mean, those are predominantly the Marvel slates that they like to use for those iffy. We don't know how this is going to go. We go in the slower months, and try and over excel on the.
Now, for New Mutants, they were saying, they had added a completely new character and they were doing a lot of reshoots.
Boring.
And that they also are taking inspiration from the newest It movie that came out.
Yeah.
As far as Dark Phoenix, they didn't really give any kind of a reasoning behind the move. But
Is anybody even excited for these movies at this point?
no.
So
I mean, New Mutants actually looked really cool from the trailer.
well, yeah, I remember that trailer now that you mention it, and that was pretty cool because it looked like a horror thriller kind of.
Yeah, it looked like a straight up horror movie.
And I mean, I think that's not a bad way to go when the general audience feels like what the hell is this movie? Why are you still cranking out, XMen bullshit sequels and shit like that to, like, when you're actually saying, like, yeah, can we just, start clean with this and work it in? It's not a bad way to go to try and just do something new with some original content.
I'm wondering if the delays have anything to do with the Fox Disney deal.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, because this is probably obligated stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is production stuff. This is
they have to be in production of movies to be able to hold on to the rights. So,
and it's not only
even
that,
even if they didn't actually plan on releasing these movies,
right?
If the deal does wind up going through, we're still not going to hear about it until next year.
Yeah.
But say the deal doesn't go through, they have to be able to have proof that they're being in production of these movies to hold on to the rights. So if they're going to keep pushing back and delaying, that could be a sign that they're going to be joining the MCU.
And also the fact that some of this stuff was already in pre-production stuff, and you got money that's sitting out there. You gotta just put it together and try and make something happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Our last bit of our flipping the script segment here, Bill. Excuse me. We saw Ready Player One this past Wednesday night. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it. If you wanted to read my review, it is up over at thecinescape.com. I get into the good, the bad, the in-between. I think you and I and our group, we all had... I had differing opinions from the rest of the group, I'm going to say. I'm somebody that did read... I read the book. I read the book,
and this movie was nothing like the book. I like the book so much better than the movie. People just rip this movie apart because it's not like the book. Blah, blah, blah.
So when I was writing the review the other night, I was trying to separate my review of the movie and... like you were just saying, the differences from the book. I tried my best. I didn't really want to compare things. I did it a couple times, but I'll let you start off first. Okay? Bill, what were your impressions of the movie?
Somebody who did not read the book, I didn't know what to really expect, and what I didn't expect was that this movie would be so damn good. It was so satisfying for so many different reasons.
You heard it here first.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Like I said, I didn't read the book, and this movie was one that it just brought your childhood all back together, right? And I'm not talking about millennials' childhoods. I'm talking about, our childhoods. From the toys we grew up with to, the type of friends that you remember hanging out with, to just what your life was generally like. Not even having to do with toys, but just like. How, the culture of society was back then, like, and how these kids were, being, like, represented, and, like, what they, what their mission was in the movie was characterized by some of, like, the simple values, like, that we retained, like, as kids that, sadly is just kind of lost in translation today. And, there was some kids in the movie, you remember, Sean, probably like a lot of 10, 11, 12-year-olds in there I saw. There's a good handful. Maybe.
Yeah, there's a dad and his son right next to me.
Yeah. There was a couple kids on our side too. And the
movie was geared so that, kids could enjoy it.
Right, in a basic
there
level of
there were a
understanding.
couple of more adult humorous moments.
Well, that's because it was meant for folks like us, but it was done in the sense that anybody could have understood that, and most of all, it was trying to connect your childhood, for not only people that like us who are adults now, but just for the kids that were even, at the movie theater. So, yes, these jokes may be intended for your father, but the overall, feel good, why you do something, the values and the morals behind, right and wrong and stuff like that. Those are what any kid should be able to pick up. And, that's what it did. It was, what these teenagers were fighting for in the Oasis was their ability to, just have fun and be free and, have friendship and
not have pop-ups everywhere.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna shout out some spoilers here, so spoiler alert. But I liked one of the things that they did at the end when they had control of the Oasis was, they had Tuesdays and Thursdays off. They shut the entire grid down, so that way people could still interact with one another and have that connection, that bond, which is something that sadly, we're such a plugged in society today. I mean, we're always connected to the hip with this. And
my stepson's been on spring break all this week.
Yeah,
and yesterday it was rain, but the day before that it was like 60 and sunny and beautiful. And I get home from work, and he's inside the house on his Xbox.
Yeah,
like you just want to like grab them and throw them out the door, like get outside and go play. Like we didn't have that problem when we were kids. Like we had Nintendo, we had Sega, and PlayStation, all that stuff. But from the time you're allowed to go outside until the streetlights came on, you're outside playing football or stickball or manhunt or Red Rover. Or something,
I think it's tougher now in that sense because we didn't have the internet back then, and
porn's really easy to come by.
I know.
You had to go find porn mags in the woods somewhere.
So true. But it's it's the fact that even our game systems weren't tied into the internet and stuff. So the fact that
great, here we fucking go.
So the fact that you have a Sega.
Hi, Fish.
Hey, Fishman. Fishman can't breathe. Oh
no!
Oh no! So the fact that your gaming systems would be plugged into the wall, but you had to turn it on and off, and there wasn't the constant plug-in. It's not like you could talk to your friends and all play Sonic. So for your stepson to be, he's got the Xbox, he's got his phone.
He's like FaceTiming with a friend in Tennessee as they're like playing some game together. I don't know. It's weird.
But aside from that, I mean, this movie is littered with pop culture. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Littered.
I think I posted an article this morning. It's like 90 Easter eggs that Screen Rant had found, and I was looking through everything. I mean, every scene has something in it that you're gonna find. Whether it's RoboCop, whether it's Ninja Turtles, whether it's Godzilla, King
Iron
Kong.
Giant.
There's so much stuff to discover. I'm sure it's going to take months for people to go frame by frame and look at everything in there to find everything, but it's ridiculous. Like having read the book and knowing how the story went there compared to where it did and didn't go in the movie, I feel like they did leave a lot of cool stuff out and change a lot of things, some for the better, some for the worse. So I had a little issue with their journey. They didn't spend a lot of time exploring and discovering things. Like the premise of the novel was to, obviously it was still the same plot, to find the keys, to find the Easter egg, but as they're looking for everything, they get to explore the different worlds that they're going to and really delve into it and get the most out of the Oasis, which was something that the movie didn't do a good job of. Like everything felt rushed. Like as soon as they got into the plot of the movie, it's like everybody meets up and then they find the first key and then it's boom boom boom, right, with filler with the the villains. So they didn't spend a lot of time having fun aside from the Shining scene, which was not in the book, which is probably the coolest scene in the entire movie.
It was pretty cool.
They recreated the Overlook Hotel
Yeah.
flawlessly. Like
Right.
it looked like you were watching The Shining. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But you know, I felt like they didn't spend enough time exploring, having fun, and I thought the character development was pretty poor as well. Ty Sheridan played the main character, Wade Watts, in the film, and I didn't care about him. I didn't care about Olivia Cook as
he was pretty vanilla. You know what I mean?
Like he didn't show. I mean, he showed emotion when he was crying behind his VR goggles, but like, you just didn't feel any, or at least I didn't. I didn't feel any connection to these characters. Like they fell in love like right at the offset of the movie. Like why?
Well, do you think it's because
he was a loser? Because in the book he's like a fat, overweight kid with bad acne.
Yeah, I mean, but do you think it's the fact that the movie wasn't so much focused on the human, but more so the avatar throughout most of the movie? Like, you know, the fact that you're not seeing these characters, you know, deal with too much of, you know, what's going on in reality, because that they're trying to, all the work that needs to be done is in the Oasis. Yes, there's plenty of scenes where, you know, things are affecting them, you know, outside of the Oasis, but it's very,
his aunt gets killed.
Yeah, some things are, you know, very minuscule in comparison to the bigger picture. So I mean, I think for me it was I wouldn't say it felt rushed to me, but it definitely was very intense as far as fast pace. I mean, you gotta, you know, however you watch this movie, whether if it's 3D or regular, there's gonna be a pace that you gotta prepare yourself for. And I mean, this movie is, you know, 0 to 60 as soon as it starts. So, what are you doing back there?
Toxic Mike's making crude gestures over there.
Yeah, see in the fucking TV here, because Jamie doesn't put our background picture on anymore. So, yeah.
Oh man,
yeah, that's cool.
Bill, going off of what you were just saying with, you know,
that's what happens when you change the schedule on me. You know, I wasn't ready for this.
Oh, come on, just go into the folder, pull up
Bill's
the
fault.
picture.
Going off of, you know, time spent in the VR world compared to the real world,
Yeah.
that was actually one of my positives in the movie. I didn't want to see a straight CGI fest for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Right.
I was, you know, appreciative of the live action time that we did get to spend, because I didn't want to watch Avatar. So that was really good. Another thing that bothered me was Ben Mendelsohn's character of Sorrento.
Sorrento.
In the book, he's like a badass dude that you don't want to fuck around with.
Yeah.
But in the book, he was a buffoon. That dude sucked. And I really love Ben Mendelsohn as an actor. But,
Mandelbaum.
yeah, him too. But his character and the other chick,
Yeah.
they were just like over the top bad. Like not in a good way.
Well, they're just like underdeveloped brutes that like, she's a fucking idiot.
Like, that was the most Spielberg part of the movie, where it's like, oh, the kids know what everything is and how to do everything, and the adults are, you know, bumbling idiots who are just, like, chasing after them the whole time.
Right.
Like, it was like E.T. or something.
Yeah. And, I mean, Spielberg has a knack for, like, getting, like, a pretty good actor in, like, you know, in a role where, hey, you really just need to kind of just come off as a little menacing, but really you're just, you know, incompetent. So, like, oh, my login password is on a sticky note inside my, like, Mega Million Oasis chair here. Like, oh, hey, did you happen to get the password, Parzival? Yeah, I did. I actually remember it exactly word for word. Like,
the password is
clitoris. Boner is tranny cock. Because there's no way that you want to spend your morning, Fishman, than waking up to a nice tranny cock in your message box.
That's how I woke up this morning.
Hey,
thanks, Mike.
I'm Mike Francolino, and I just happen to have this tranny cock pic right.
Like, it was sidebar here. This morning, the three of us were texting back and forth, and Bill had made a joke, and Mike responded back quickly, very like ridiculously quickly, with this the shim picture.
Like it was so
Like,
quick,
it was within a
so
second.
quick that like you were questioning like, all right, he either
Like, he
had
already
this
had it queued up.
already like up for his own like personal pleasure, like he might be jacking off and texting us at the same time, and like this is what his like spank picture was, and it was just like,
Spank
oh,
treasure.
I'll just send it to these guys because it's real convenient
It's
right
already
now.
here, yeah.
Or as if like this is some kind of like profile, like ready to drop and drag like wherever on a moment's notice, like you
Well, it's
pull up,
probably his phone background.
right,
too.
like you pull up your GIF keyboard or something, and boom, this is the preset picture. Why don't you show Fishman what you enjoyed?
yeah, they're
this
both
morning?
probably looking at it earlier.
Yeah. Did you get that
Weirdos.
one? Yeah. That's his girl or guy.
Both
Right, yeah.
at the same time.
You would suck the shit off of that cock.
Her name is Bailey J.
Yeah, we know.
Respect
Bailey
her.
J. Yeah, just go back to the Bailey J episode. Just go back to like every episode where that's Bailey J. She's got a very cute cock. Never have
Great
I ever,
tits.
never have I ever said a cock was cute until I saw his.
It was in my mouth.
And why? I tried to get her on the show before, right? I messaged her on Twitter for you. I was like, hi, my name's Bill. I have a podcast where we talk about movies and television. Our executive producer, Michael, is a huge fan, as huge as your cock, and yep, swinging hammer, exactly.
Yep.
And we would really like it if you would be a guest and talk to us, and we can, throw around topics and our balls, and just talk some talk,
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So yeah, but she never got back to me, probably because she was like, sitting on a cock or something.
I am not picking that thing up again.
I wouldn't. So.
Anyway,
Fish, you
Yeah.
going on next? Yeah. You need
We've got Fishman come up at 1 o'clock this
1 o'clock?
afternoon. 1 o'clock.
that means we
Yep.
still have a whole hour to go.
No, you don't. I'm getting picked up shortly. You got about 3.5 minutes.
You're getting
All right,
picked up.
Michael, jump on.
Yeah, come on,
picked
Mike.
up?
why don't you guys, Jamie, your
I
wife
said we do
can
an
pick
after
you up
show.
and go to brunch. I got to just leave by 1, so.
Do a little after show in between.
I mean, if you guys want to jump on, we'll have a little open table discussion. We'll play our outro music. You guys can just jump in. We'll talk a little talk, and then we'll slide right into the, Fishman Easter Happy Hour weekend extravaganza presented by Hanna-Barbera.
yeah, we'll get all our eggs in a basket here. Get it?
Bitch must pay.
Finishing up Ready Player One. Bill,
Yeah.
you enjoyed it? I mean, I
enjoyed
enjoyed the movie. I just had issues with the movie.
See, I guess that's because you read the book.
Yeah, because I read the book.
For me, I read no book, and I have
See what happens when you read.
gleaming reviews of this movie.
That's good.
And it was, very good movie. Go and see it. I don't care how you see it. 3D. I would like to try it in 3D. But I mean, we saw it in the Dolby Theater. Excellent.
Yeah, the seats were rumbling the whole time.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So go
All
check
right.
it out.
Last bit of business here. I just want to spend a couple of short minutes. Infinity War, Bill,
Yeah.
April 28th.
April 28th.
We are 28 days away.
Infinity War. Can I see the aux cord?
Okay. Here you go.
Just keep talking.
So, as we were talking about earlier with Chris Evans, maybe not returning after Avengers 4, maybe he's just stepping away for a period of time. Could somebody else take up the mantle of Captain America? Could it be, like in the comics, could it be Bucky?
Maybe Mantis?
No. I'm going to say no on that one. Could it be Bucky? Could it be Falcon? Maybe one of these two, takes up the Captain America shield and continues on with the character until Chris Evans returns. So we don't know what's going on with that. But, as we're just 4 weeks away from this movie, we've gotten a trailer. We've gotten, especially this week, a lot of TV spots been dropping, showing different parts of, a couple scenes here and there. We know Thor gets picked up by the Guardians. We know that Cap is in Wakanda with Black Widow and the Hulk. So just, looking for, Bill, what are some of the things that you're speculating about that could happen?
So pretty much we can already suspect a lot of things are going to happen on Wakanda.
Yes.
As far as some of these situations go, it's really hard to believe that someone, may die in this movie, right? Because it's like you're questioning, how can you do that? How can you do that? And I think, honestly, there's going to be deaths, but we have to remember that basically the God particle is present here in the Infinity Wars here with the Gauntlet, and people can get brought back. We have the Time Stone, we have the Soul Stone, reality. Like, all these things are able to alter something and undo or create chaos, create new plot lines in general, and
all right, so,
really,
gun to your head, give me one prediction that you think is going to happen. Here it is. What's going to happen, Bill? You better fucking tell me right now.
Vision becomes powerless.
Vision becomes powerless.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think that, Vision is going to... initially I thought he was going to survive, or that he's going to die, but now I think that, since they're apparently hiding him out in Wakanda, which could be the reason why Thanos goes there in the first place, Shuri, Black Panther's sister,
Shuri
has some kind of technology where she's going to be able to keep him alive even after, having his Soul Stone ripped out of his head, or Mind Stone ripped out of his head. But you're saying it's just going to be completely depowered altogether?
Yeah.
Well, then he's going to be pointless.
Well, sometimes they just do pointless shit.
That's true. Like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Just from everything, we know that there seems to be 3 different factions of teams going on. We have the Wakanda team with, Cap, Black Panther, Black Widow, Hulk. We have the New York team with Tony Stark, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. And then we have the space-based team with Thor and the Guardians.
That's probably how they account for having so many characters on the big screen. Is
they're not
segment
all,
them.
Like, you might get them all together at the very end for one shot, but the bulk of the movie is going to be focused on switching back and forth to the different locations. A prediction that I haven't really put a lot of thought into that, but I could see the movie ending on a giant cliffhanger, with Thanos kind of he's holding the the gauntlet with all 6 stones in it,
right? And
just like in the comics, with a snap of his fingers, that's how the movie's going to end, and it's going to piss a lot of people off because it's going to be like at a very climactic part where you're not ready for the movie to end, but it's going to, and you're going to be upset because they have to wait another year to find out what happens. So that's going to be my prediction. But today's the 31st. It comes out April 28th. We'll be seeing it the 27th. Our episode, when that movie comes out, is just strictly going to be a full 1-hour review of that movie. We're not going to talk about anything else. Bill, it's going to be you and I. It's going to be Cinescape correspondents Pat Mahoney, Mike Chrisman. We're also going to have Michael Reyes from Cinema Blend come in. He's going to join us for the discussion, and we're going to have our buddy Rob Keys from Screen Rant calling in to talk about the movie as well. So we're going to have this movie covered from all angles. I don't think I've ever been so excited and anticipated for a movie ever.
Yeah, I'm just psyched for this movie at this point. I mean, we've past 10 years, and just in the past 10 months, we've had so many Marvel movies that we've watched and new ones that have come and gone. So this is a big apex that we're about to hit, and it's you don't want to get too excited just yet. You don't want to
blow your load.
You don't want to blow your load early and then have to reboot the whole franchise.
Wow.
Hey, fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, fuck you, Mike. Well, that is going to do it for us today. Make sure that you have a happy Easter if you are celebrating that kind of thing. We wanted to thank you guys for checking in with us early today on a Saturday. Stick back in 2 weeks as we have...
Stick back?
Yeah, come on back. Stick around. Do something.
Stick back.
As we do have those
New
two
term.
Cinescape Trivia Challenge matches. We're looking forward to those. And then our big Infinity War review in 4 weeks' time from today. For myself, Sean Harrigan, for Bill Tazzi, for Jamie Baumgartner, thanks. Happy Easter from Japan.
新たなヒーローも参戦し、人類史上最大の危機に立ち向かう。
What was that?
Hey, good stuff. All right. See you later.
Happy holidays.